Bridgerton himself, otherwise known as Jonathan Bailey, joins us now.
Oh, it's
good
so
to have
good
you with
to
us.
see you.
Oh my God, it's a pleasure to be here.
I mean, it was a shock to everyone last year when everyone was talking about Bridgerton. Oh, you got to watch Bridgerton. I was like, Bridgerton, what is this Bridgerton?
You didn't say it, I mean, you said it
I
in
did.
a
I was
nicer
like,
way
what is
than
this?
that.
I did. No, I was like, what is this Bridgerton? Everyone's going on about it. Literally, first episode, I was invested. I was in. And it did so well. So then this second series comes along and they say, right, you're going to be the star.
Yeah.
Was that a lot of pressure on you? How did you feel?
Big boots to fill, for sure. But we knew that this series is based on a set of books, of 8 books, and it was always going to be Anthony's story second. So I had a lot of time to prepare. And we knew sort of what the showrunner was doing in this sort of prologue of his character. But the world is so rich, and this is a show that sort of celebrates so many things, but the craft within it, because I know that Dee, your lovely wife, was worked on as a director for Series 1, but everyone is at the top of their game. So actually, you're surrounded by a real sort of family of people who are just brilliant. So
That's the vibe. I came down on set for the first series, and that's the vibe I got. It was just, I mean, in one respect, you've got this incredible. I mean, the set's unbelievable. It's huge, right? They're raining inside, and all this is unbelievable.
Unbelievable, yeah.
It was in Bath,
yet you've got
wasn't
this
it?
kind of and yet you've got this kind of lovely intimacy that you guys sort of seem to share. Did you, when it was first starting with you know, you're filming it, and obviously Netflix are putting an awful lot of money into it, and you've got Snowdon behind it.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantee of success, is there? So were you sort of kind of hesitant to start with, thinking, well, people are either going to get, it's either going to be huge or no one's going to get this?
Well, you look for the alchemy that can happen. I think Netflix, for their, financial support and the sort of, the reach that they have in terms of storytelling. And Shondaland is politically really front-footed, so it's going to be brilliant representation. It's going to put a mirror to the society that we live in today, so people can really see themselves in that genre. And then, then you meet the cast, and we met the family, and everyone is so lovely, and it just seemed to click. But yeah, you don't know. But when it happened, I mean, I think it's going to take about 20 years. At the 50th anniversary, when we all come back together, that's when maybe.
And what's so lovely is Phoebe actually gave you some advice, didn't she?
Yeah, but I mean, Phoebe led that first season with such elegance and grace.
She was amazing.
Brilliant.
She is amazing. And yeah, it was really... I mean, it's funny because it's such a unique thing to lead a show like that. And I remember sitting in the makeup chair whilst filming Series 2 and just remembering Phoebe and coming in and being like, are you all right? Because you don't get a day off.
Yeah.
Your whole work-life balance is shifted. Yeah.
And you have to eat correctly, you have to exercise, you have to do everything.
Get fit, and then, and obviously in a time of COVID as well, that sort of edged the balance more towards work.
You've done a handbook for the next...
I've done a little handbook, to pass down.
that
it's a
Phoebe sort
serious
of gave
handbook?
to you.
Yeah, well, because there's little things that... Because it's so sort of unique, I just thought there are certain things that I learnt along the way that I think...
Give us some little tips. What would
Well,
you
it's
need
things
to know?
like always befriend the caterers.
We're there, standard, no problem.
I mean,
we do that all the time, don't we?
Inside showbiz secret. But no, it's about, surrounding yourself with brilliant people and, knowing how to just make sure that you get the right
How generous is that? That's such a lovely thing to do.
But listen, it's all about Will Tilston and Florence Hunt. They're the youngest two, and they're going to be getting married in a few years' time. So that handbook is going to turn into an opus.
It's so
Your
good.
character's really interesting, though, because in the first... I mean, there was a sadness to him in the first series. But because you weren't playing the lead, you didn't have the lead storylines, you sort of just saw flashes of it. But now, what I love about the second series is that he's kind of... You're conflicted, because he's quite a good guy deep down, and he's got quite a good moral compass, and yet he's full of just self-loathing, it seems to me.
I think so, yeah. I mean, you've got to root for your character, so I'm obviously incredibly biased, but there was so much in that second book in terms of what he'd experienced in his past that maybe allows people in retrospect to understand his controlling behaviour towards Daphne in Series 1.
Yeah.
But, you want to go and get involved in characters that are complicated, and it seemed to me like, in terms of Mr Darcy and Heathcliff and these romantic figures that we know in literature, you never really get to explore why they're as avoidant as they are. And this feels like a show that can really expand the romance genre, but also period drama, so that you can really begin to understand all different types of character within that and what that experience is. So that was why it was really appealing, I think.
Oh, you're so good at all the actor talk.
Do you know what? We are finessed.
I love
Keep it cool, Al.
I absolutely love all the actors talk. What I absolutely love, for people who have not binged it, obviously we don't want to give anything away, but obviously the Sharma sisters, they come into the situation, and the Viscount, he's looking for a wife.
Yeah.
And what's so lovely about this series is There's not too much shaky, because I thought the last series there was a lot.
Shaky.
I'm not going to lie.
You know what shaky is, Jonathan?
There was a lot.
I mean, you've got a good idea what shaky.
I didn't realise I'd been shaky.
Oh, yeah. Alison, because you're quite prudish, you don't like a lot of shaky.
A little bit with things like that. If I'm going to be watching it with the kids and everything, but with this, it really grows. Just the little touch of the finger, eyes, the touch of the shoulder, the dancing. Honestly, I mean, you had to learn all those dances.
We had an amazing choreographer, Jack Murphy, who actually is a master of his craft because you can tell so much about where these two characters are at just in a look, and also in the choreography. And even if we can see here, like the difference between the way he dances with Edwina, he guides her around, but all the dances with Kate, they are balanced, and there's a sense of sort of orbit about them in the dance. So, you know, everyone, as I said, in this Bridgerverse, all the creatives are just so good that it makes everyone else's job a lot easier.
And is it true? The Sharma sisters are
great, they're so good.
Simone Ashley. Yeah, and Charitha is amazing as well. I mean, they are
I do think they should have cast me, but, you know, they were good. They were really, really
time.
Good.
Season 3.
There's time, Alison. How many books were there? There's loads of books.
There's so many books. Can we just go back to the shaky situation? And I was just wondering...
Which Alison's not a fan.
I heard... No, I'm not a fan at all. But I heard that you use a netball so that obviously you don't touch each other for
real. That's it, yeah. That was a new item in...
Have we got a netball, anyone? So we can get a demonstration.
Do some pivots.
So how does it work? It's not completely blown up, obviously.
Well, no, it's actually half inflated.
Yeah.
But the idea is that it's obviously about safety first, obviously, and about a barrier.
Oh, I thought he was coming over to show me that.
So good.
I'm ready.
Here we go. This is what I made earlier.
I'm ready. So it's a bit like that. So yes, there's like
shaky.
So there's like
it's all
a
about
barrier.
The angle. It's all about the angle.
It needs to be like. So
we need 3 barriers.
Does it need to be 3 barriers?
There's a 3-barrier rule, which means you'll have your barrier, I'll have mine, and then this would be the half-inflated netball.
So then we just look at each other or.
Longingly look into each other.
You're very thorough.
You know what? This is essentially a screen test. Yeah. This is what it was with Smashing. I think you're passing with flying colours.
Oh, okay.
Shondaland,
I was going to say, how do you think she's doing?
I think I'm,
I just need some lines.
I'm knocked off my feet.
Literally. No. Literally. Honestly, I absolutely loved every minute of it. But you're also in the West End as well.
Yeah, doing a play, a Mike Bartlett play, who's brilliant. He wrote Dr Foster, directed by Marianne Elliott, who is one of the best theatre directors, I think, in the world.
Yeah.
And she's extraordinary. I've worked with her before, and she invited me to come back and do this amazing play. And I know we've talked a lot about love triangles today.
Yeah.
And this play
I feel
really
like there's one here.
That. We're really into trigonometry. But yeah, it's really, really funny. It's very sort of front-footed and feels quite political. And it's a really good night out. So.
I love the fact none of us can mention the name of it because it's a bit...
Yeah, I know.
Well, we can, a little bit. Shall I try?
That's very good.
That was good. That was good.
That's BAFTA nominated.
It's similar to that.
That's what that is.
So Bridgerton is actually streaming at the moment on Netflix. It's so, so good. Don't binge it. Take your time. Watch one every single week.
How long did it take you?
Like 2 days.
Exactly.
I was done in 2 days. Did you binge it?
Do you know, we got drip-fed episodes as they came through because we filmed them in sequence this year, whereas before it was all over the shop. So, over the last sort of 3 months, I've seen 2 episodes at a time.
Is it weird watching, when you know you're the lead on Series 2?
Yeah.
I guess watching it must be a bit more trepidation watching it than Series 1, I suppose,
Yeah, but if there's ever a show where, the distance between how we feel and how we look in real life and how you look on this screen, it's unbelievable what they can do. So there is a distance.
You look the same now in real life.
Calm it down.
Sorry. You look exactly the same, Jonathan. Exactly the same. But honestly, it's absolutely brilliant.
Thanks.
Well done.
Thank you. What a pleasure.
Bridgerton, Series 2 currently on Netflix, and Cock-a-doodle-doo in the West End. Was at the Ambassadors Theatre as well.